To some, this is nothing more than cardboard and ink. But to those who know, these are precious metals, rare gems, a full set it took 15 years to complete. Low-pop rookies, hypnotizing hollows, one of only a handful in the universe, or an heirloom to look after for the next generation. No matter what you collect, raw or graded, to have and to hold, or to crush your opponents with, what matters is that it's real. Introducing eBay's Authenticity Guarantee for trading cards. Our third-party authenticators inspect every detail of your card and compare it to the listing to make sure it's the real deal or no deal, because we know just how much your collection means to you.
Finally, you can stay in control of your thumbsticks. Natural evolution gave the gecko its amazingly strong grip. Our multi-patented SetX technology duplicates the microstructured fibers on a gecko's foot for a revolutionary new way to get a grip on game controller thumbsticks. Like a gecko's foot, the thousands of microstructures on each SetX anti-slip thumbstick grip provide high friction to the skin surface for a secure, comfortable grip, even when sweaty, giving you a competitive advantage. Stay in control with the secure and comfortable grip of SetX thumbstick grips. Inspired by nature, perfected by science.
Map number 1 was a great attempted comeback from Dark Ratio. We almost thought they could do it, but the Nation, again, it proves to be simple somewhat that, the team has a struggle to close out defensive maps when they start off on the attack and end everything on the defensive side. But we'll have to wait and see if that translates over to map number 2, but there is a catch, Rav.
There is indeed a catch, my friend, because this map, the Nation have not played yet. Ain't that right, Max?
Absolutely. And if they have, it's been off screen or, scrims and stuff like that. I'm sure they played it before, but we have never seen them play on Ascent before. But here's another catch. A catch on a catch, ready?
Ooh.
For Dark Ratio, ready? Over the last few months, they've gone flawless on Ascent. Since the beginning of December, they're flawless on this map, a 100% win rate. Now, they haven't played it a bunch of times, but they played it enough for it to be 100%. So I'm curious to see what the agent composition is going to look like from the Nation's end. Compositionally speaking, they haven't looked bad whatsoever. Mechanically, they've looked great. But for Dark Ratio, I think there really needs to be a big turnaround for their attacking side, especially because we've seen, again, multiple different maps where the Nation have struggled there. That might be the pinpoint focus for them to start gathering those rounds up like they did at the end of Haven.
Right. And now on the side of the Nation, right, although we have not been able to actually see a ton out of their books, it's, of course, like you mentioned, it's closing out crucial rounds that they really need to focus in on. And for the side of Dark Ratio, it's just not giving away that big of a lead, right? Because we've seen the potential of when they're able to play their game, of what they're able to do. So the comeback was possibly there, and now here they do have the option to make it so. Now I know we both like to see Fracture, but Dark Ratio is the only team that can possibly make that happen.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good point. I hope we see Fracture, but if the Nation continue to keep playing the way they're playing, I don't think we're going to see Fracture. And again, depending on how the Nation can play their defensive side, I really feel like that's the win condition for Dark Ratio. If it was a different multiverse reality where we could have seen the second half of Haven start out first, that being Dark Ratio starting off on the attack, I feel like we'd still be casting that map right now. Their comeback at the very end, once they were warmed up, familiar with how the rotates for the Nation went, it was a very different story, but because what was the half? 11-1, it was already almost too late.
Yeah, it was completely shut down, right? So it was tough because you're looking at, one round differentials, right? Possibilities of even if you give away just even far too many picks, then that's your entire just map almost foregone. But here, like you're mentioning, they're on the attack first. Dark Ratio has options. They've got time, and considering how they have stats on their side as well, I do tend to lean towards the numbers. If I am to be able to try to identify what exactly I want to predict within my own mind.
Are you saying that the numbers you trust Dark Ratio to win?
I mean, they are flawless on this map. That is all I have to say about it.
See, I don't know.
I will say nothing more because then that just makes sense to me. But like you're saying, the Nation's a crack team. And it's not like they, as players, haven't played a set before. So that isn't necessarily like lean too heavily in the narrative, but it's nice.
If I could do my best to transport myself into the shoes of Dark Ratio, I'm thinking, oh God, I don't know any data on this team. I don't know what they look like. I'm sure they've scrimmed against each other before, but from our perspective going in, it's like, even if there is scrim data, that doesn't mean it's going to translate over to the real game. So I think it starts off with the agent composition. I think that's what I'm most interested in starting off this map. And from there, unless there's like a big troll composition, which I don't think it's going to happen, we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But I think we're just about ready for Agent Select.
Indeed, my friend. And here it is. So you call it, so shall it be. What we're about to see. Dark Ratio, of course, on the attack. Pretty much a very similar composition to what we saw from them on Haven, right? Not really many changes at all. They're sticking with the Jet. And on the other end, it's almost identical as well to what the Nation did as well. But they change out. Of course, they're bringing in the KO this time. And Drone might be doing that too, I feel like.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Double Robo, dudes. KO can be so strong on this map because the 0 point can just clip through so many different walls and shut down pivotal utility, especially over towards B site. If you want to be on the attacking team, just like we see Dark Ratio, could be a great instance to just null command using his ultimate and push through, overwrite the entirety of B site, and completely leave someone like Brax on an island and take them down. But of course, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, aren't we?
Right, because we still got some time. We've got some buffer room for ourselves, my friend, as this is still the start to the map. We've got some bleeding to do, so let's ease ourselves into what we're about to experience here, right?
Absolutely. Well, we have Brax starting off on B site. It will be Wardell to kind of bounce between B site and mid a little bit more, but the majority of the Nation, they're set up for A site. They're looking for both Treen, they're looking for the double contact outside of A main. There's a lot of options that Dark Ratio still have, especially positioned outside of B, but this is pretty standard from what we have seen from the attacking side. Zexro's going to be the point of interest, though, in case there's an anti-lurk, but Rav, I can't wait to see how this round goes.
So we can find out about all that together. As right now, right? So it's Dark Ratio. It was the early knife towards A. Just nothing really gathered as it was shot out. And naturally they're leaving the extra all the way on the other side to lurk. So it'll leave pretty much 4 of them. No early aggression from the Nation as they're playing super close.
Yeah. There's a lot of anticipation from the Nation's side. Zexro's turret's so good to spot out potentially a peek towards Catwalk. This recon bolt, the first bit really of utility used at this round. Possibly at any moment set up for B. It's almost turning into a mad dash. Util dump outside of A. The dash from Will, it's all bait.
Yeah. They're looking at these over rotations that they say that they're made it on site. To people that they didn't close in the door. Will even gets one. And now they all move away, though the site gets cleared up by himself. Will is so nasty, man. But like you're saying, look at the spike, look at where it's going. They might even kill almost all of Dark Ratio before the spike even goes down. It's a right-click battle, and finally Trick wins it. Spike finally planted, and there we go.
All that util. KJ had set up on B side, completely gone. A 2v4 in the blink of an eye. What to do now? You have to split push your way on the side, but Will on the flank.
It's taken down, so that's not bad, but Max, watch this, because look, considering the Nation are R2, right? They have to see force their way into 2 different angles. Now they have 1 goes stair, 1 goes speedway, and Brax right now just because I'm speeding the flash. There's a knife, but drone takes him, and Dark Ratio started off with a round.
That was sick. I mean, those are the same mind games we had seen translated from the end of Haven brought over to Ascent. We saw the rotates, we saw the util bait, we saw Will go for an entry util exec that we would expect to see if anyone was just barreling down A main, but it was all a big fake. And not only that, Rav, but Dark Ratio, the little platoon waiting outside B main, waited till Brax was just outside Killjoy's utility radius to make sure it was all deactivated, silencing the entirety of that attack.
But in right now,
Here.
we'll see if the strategy changes out for the Nation. Although they don't find much at all, they're still holding back at the site.
Yeah, slow contact yet again. 4 stacked up outside of A. It's a good read from the Nation.
Deploying drone.
Silva drone's gonna spot out possibly at least 1. It's only Omen though. They don't know about the other 2, but they can certainly guess.
Yeah. Naturally, as they walk in, there's the second one that they were anticipating. And on a save, the Nation have waltzed their way to the A site, planted themselves as 3, and now they've also gained control of pretty much everything they wanted. But look at where the spike is, Max.
I know.
It's
It's
rotate
nerve-wracking.
over. Although A is open, then instead you double back all around. They go on a speedway. Tig wins it. Spike gets dropped, but it might not be enough. Look at Angie. Yeah, knows where they are. Then Trees, what? No shot. Tig swings and wins it. That could be so detrimental. That whole flank was almost everything that they were hoping for to even up the round, but they've lost their guns, and this is their bonus.
I know, and all those bonus weapons the Nation can pick up. It's gonna make these gunfights for Zexro in the next 7 or so seconds even more difficult. There's nowhere to go. No real reason to keep this Spectre, I suppose, for the Lost Death bonus, but there we go. At least good for 1 anti-eco. Good lord. I mean, Zachariah was good for 2, but keep in mind that he's on an island for the majority of these early rounds. He's setting up his turret outside of B. That ensures that no one can push up B main, no one can cross mid safely, or even peek out of tree. The issue is that if Dark Ratio outside of Zexro aren't able to find much impact, it makes his job a lot more difficult. It's essentially a 4v5 until the end round. But full setup again for Brax Util outside of B. 3 setup there. If A side didn't work out for DR, B surely should be the move, right? That's Nation's thinking.
I mean, surely not, but you have pretty much all the full setup from the Killjoy, so you can stop any of that from happening, and they do that. Speedway taken off as an option. They barely made their way except just 1 as Brax. And he's paving the way for the rest of his teammates. Says, homies, follow me. I promise I can show you the path to victory. But it seems even though he's a line leader, ain't no one trying to get after him. How did he win that when he was almost full flash? Doesn't matter because they won't be winning for much longer.
Oh man, the Nation are having the reads on reads now, dude. Like, they were able to read out that A push the previous round. They read out the B main push, and Dark Ratio, they had so much great utility usage. Or, I'm sorry, not utility usage. They had some great mind games that opening pistol round. What happened? Where'd it go? Are we gonna see more mid this round? Otherwise, it's already looking like the Dark Ratio might be acting predictable in the Nation's eyes.
I mean, a lot of Valorant is about pattern recognition, right?
Yes.
And assumably the Nation has been able to see a lot of what Dark Ratio does over the past 4 months, and this is one big way to do it. Obviously identifies Chick was there. That takes 2 threes for his troubles. Yo, los pollos hermanos.
I don't know what that means.
Etros Dios. He's saying, bro, it says, so los pollos hermanos is the chain from Breaking Bad, but my man took all 3 chickens. That's it. Exactly. And that's the 4-piece combo.
Wow. A shutdown again. And through all this, it's the same exact setup that we've seen Dark Ratio bring out literally every round this game. Zexro's on an island. There's that group push towards either A or B. And that's why we're seeing these much more effective, just wide swings coming out. It's why Rossi was promoted into getting a 4K there. And here we go again. If A didn't work, B yet again. We'll have to see how this one plays out. No ult was really to work with for Dark Ratio outside the Killjoy lockdown. But that null command, it's on the other side of the site, other side of the map. Won't be effective just yet. Maybe for a potential retake. But that 0.5 is a lot of effectiveness.
Yeah, retake is definitely what we're looking for right now, but instead they're not looking to walk their way into the site, even using from the shadows as well to peek out as to where they might be holding on the other end. And in Boathouse is Brax, and they give him 4 for free, saying 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want my body blow?
No way, man. That's the count from Sesame Street. 4!
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame Moonchopper for going for a timeout right here. This has... The first round of this game was like, really good for Dark Ratio, but the last few rounds have been pretty much the same exact thing happening over and over again. And are we going to see the shutdown? Yeah, Brax just taking advantage of the full lineups. Back sight, headshots non-stop coming through. All peeking one at a time, looking for the attempted trades. But you know what we haven't seen yet, Rev?
What's that?
Catwalk, mid, any sort of defaulty plays coming up from Dark Ratio have been completely absent outside of Zexro. And by the time he does cross that kind of river into mid, it's already a 1v4.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Especially you would expect, maybe at least a 3-2 type of push, right?
Yeah.
Hoping that they take some sort of space on other entry points of the map. But no, instead it's just been full side pushes. Like, all right, we run at 5. Go. SEAL Team 6. But this is what more I want to see. In the position they got right here is exactly that. That 3-2 that we were saying. They put themselves apart and they choose to at least either one, anticipate aggression from the nation to push out, and 2, they have more than one option where they can go on the different sites. So far is a good start. The knife should have been able to get Braxton to the side. So that will likely lead towards the nation, staying on A. And they do. 3 is still there.
Yeah, and this is looking much more true to form to Dark Ratio without even a single shot being hit just yet. Early util being brought out on B. The silent walk back over to A site. Dark Ratio must be anticipating that the nation have rotated off over towards B, but no contact's been made. I don't think they know about the op wielder just yet. Oh, no.
They also use the owl drone as well in mid, right onto Trace, so they saw nothing at all there. So they know they should be coming in here, and a beautiful op shot from Wardell. But of course, the lockdown does present a small threat, but not enough of one that he has to go away completely. He's tucked into a corner, and Dark Ratio can't enter the site. They couldn't even peek in to see what was going on. Oh no.
The dark cover re-anticipates itself again. Null command off of it. It's not too late for the execute.
But Rossi able to find one. Oh, they're all tucking himself into the corner, not able to see Yaji, who would have moved all the way up. So this actually leads, DR to a successful plant finally, although they're down one person. They at least have a ton of options for how they want to set up. And this is one of them. Artistry up, looking to poke it. See if they find anybody up above heaven, but nah. And they've also found step down by Wine as well. So this Wine step's gonna be crucial. They see Tig. Oh, that's so nice. Paranoia. Saw Angie tuck away, and now Tig is stuck. They should be able to just defuse. But he's detained. Get him. Shoot him. No. Trick is fine. If he clutches this round, this would be absolutely insane. But he can't do it.
And it's a full 8 seconds when the lockdown completely incapacitates you. A team ace comes by. Trick almost made something happen there, but it was just far too late. I gotta give it credit, though, to Tig. That huge lurk after the death of Zexro was unbelievable. Just being able to take advantage of the fact that there was no flank watch utility. Despite, though, Ange hiding inside of Wine, it wasn't enough. And so far, this has been a flawless 5-round streak from the nation. And even after that attack timeout, we're seeing yet another thrifty round come by. The same setup pre-timeout.
That's the kind of stuff we want to see. Right? That's what repetition, right, is what allows, you know, Dark Ratio, of course, to hammer into some basic principles, but for the nation as well, it leaves them thinking, okay, they get almost forced to what they're doing, and then hopefully a change happens. They're not expecting it. But right now, Rossi doesn't care as to who they got, where they at, and what they be doing. Leaving 2 on site. 3v3.
No hesitancy anymore. The 3v3. Bladestorm now out. Wardell throws away the op. Doesn't want to take the risk.
Pops up.
No way.
He expected that as well. I was thinking there was no shot, and he actually managed to get him right. He peeked up and not for the TP where that going, and so Brax. It's not his counterpart. Twin gone. Leaving Wardell. Try to get at least 2 here. Seizing all the right click whiffs. Can't secure it. Dark Ratio now in a 1v2 with the cross angle they got set up. They'll take a thrifty.
And a thrifty at that. Remember Dark Ratio, they started winning their win streak on Haven by a thrifty not too long ago. This is how the mountain was climbed eventually. Well, until the nation finally secured that final round. But the Dark Ratio, they are able to play these thrifty rounds so aggressively, and they take full advantage. Now that they have weapons in their arsenal, it's looking like maybe a 2-3 split yet again. Where's that spike gonna go? It's been dancing back and forth in spawn. Looks like B might be the way to go, but I'm wondering if we're gonna see this continuation of aggressive play. Early contact has not been made yet, outside of Catwalk. It's a double contact though in Tree. The nation rather are expecting to see something different coming out from Dark Ratio, and they are. It's full mid control. But so far, nothing just yet.
It's nice though.
Yeah. There's that alarm bot. This could give away the entire plot. No bodies to play around this other than info gained.
He could do it. He could possibly do it. But that also might be just an indication
Revealing area.
for the nation to at least look to move away. But instead, they'll just chill back in the same position. Open to draw away everybody else, but the nation still sectors 5. The spray works out.
30 seconds left.
And with a double stack up in Goldhouse, all they gotta do is hold strong, but the molly's enough to clear out one after the next. Dark Ratio successfully move in. And what was a very, very tough
Last player standing.
take, but it'll leave them with a 4-person advantage. And the nation now crawling out.
Dark Ratio, they've turned it on back again. They're playing mid. They're using their utility. They're playing so slow now, and I love it. And the nation, they're struggling. They've been able to read into the Dark Ratio's plays for so long, but suddenly now things are being swapped up. It's a very different story. Hunter's Fury in tow for the nation. Dark Ratio will have a null command, maybe for an early aggressive A again. They worked it well for it on their thrifty. Wouldn't be surprised if they do it again.
Before the smoke even drops, we're not managed to stay alive, but 3 full blind, he takes him. Somebody bought his sunglasses.
Ooh!
All of Dark Ratio get decimated.
Playing directly into Wardell's op. Holy moly. So many rounds now, or at least 2 pivotal ones, where Wardell's been able to shut down that aggressive play, that exec completely. Look, there it is again. Rossi was there for that secondary contact. Stewie the Hunter's Fury on top. A full read yet again. The null command completely blowing up in the face of Dark Ratio. And they're attempting to do it again. Maybe they'll fake it out, but they're all stacked up A main.
The same position again, but this time he actually doesn't get it. Smoke doesn't fall, but instead it's Rossi to be able to take everybody else. Wardell, although this time at least he can't get it through the smoke, but blindly he can, which on its own is insane. It'll just leave them in the same position they were in before, and Dark Ratio learned from their mistakes previously, and 2 fall.
Drone is a mastermind of pushing A.
Spike planted.
Spike goes down, but look at the HP. So little left for Dark Ratio. Only Zexro has full HP. Everyone else is a single shot.
Brax is up top. No.
One enemy remaining.
3v1. Say, what was a indomitable position, now the nation claims their flag, and I salute to Brax.
7-3. A round again. That should have been in Dark Ratio's favor. Full control of the site, the shutdown there.
Look like us, but are they us?
And they've been not able to convert these rounds. It's hard to focus on one thing that isn't just the raw mechanical play from the nation. And it's been like that for both series we covered today, where teams have just been able to coordinate so well together and read these attacker-sided plays so well that yet again, Dark Ratio, they're rotating back away from A, back into B site, and Brax has the full KJ setup there.
Flash through the window to allow all the to move in one after the next. So with where they're at currently, the lockdown though easily cannot be reached by pretty much anything at all. So they're all forced to fall off, and like they just rush in, look to be a bait, so they get a ton of util out of them, and they'll just wait the lockdown out. But the rotation doesn't seem imminent, especially considering they have the alarm bot there, so they might just run it back.
No, and Drone's maybe trying to sell that fake towards A. He's going to go on a solo adventure over towards A main. The rest of Dark Ratio cutting noise completely. KJ turret, though, being heard by Stewie, knows that at least Zexro's close. That doesn't give much info away. Zexro's always there. So it's up now to Drone.
Let's take this here. Season 2 the moving, and couldn't decide which one to take first. Assuming he's probably still there on the flank. Not expecting to. And now that's the counter lockdown there to completely remove
Wardell's ready.
most opposition that they have, but there's no smoke towards the back of the site. So, there it is finally. Wardell cannot intercept the moving in. We'll make it a 4v4. What? As soon as that drops, he managed to even get him, but it's just a 1-for-1. That's the op gone. Dark Ratio have to find a way to somehow plant on the site, but time is being wasted.
10 seconds
The
left.
nation kids move in, but within a matter of seconds, Zexro's left by himself, anticipating the angle. Goes tucks behind the box, fine, but as Radiant Knight is almost paper mache, but he's fine because he's flying high. Zexro clutches the round.
Zexro saves the day. This early bait from Dark Ratio keeps tripping me up. They go for this early entry, they back out, they re-wait to exec again. Their mid-round plays is what is winning these games or these rounds for them. 4 rounds though, 1 left in this half. It's either gonna go 8-4 or 7-5 Dark Ratio. Obviously want to get the 5th marker there. Very competitive game, swapping sides. Wardell still with an op towards the back of A site. A lot more of an aggressive killjoy utility stance coming out from Brax though. Still waiting again, but at this point anything's possible. Trick's early recon bolt's gonna spot out the back of B site.
All the hardest Fury to get one. So Sentinel all gone as well, so the owner opposition as well to deny them more of these options. And now for Dark Ratio, we're looking towards a 7-5 half. If possible, right? Op is still up though.
And having Brax go down first is devastating. All that utility, especially the hold towards B, now towards mid, needs to be held by Rossi. That alarm bot can't be activated anymore.
Revealing area.
So close to contact being made. Trick's gonna go for the recon bolt. At least it's destroyed. Someone has to be in mid.
The knife as well to try to ping out where they're gonna hold, but nobody by pizza either. So at least through here, the nation. Because you know so far back, look at the peek out through trees.
And look at Trick's work.
He can get time in here, and yeah, was looking to follow one, but instead we're at a hard holding angle. As Rossi as well is just chilling in the corner. Takes two. Spike gone. Dark Ratio. It was their round to lose, and I fear to lose they might. No wait on the site, and Will goes night-night.
8-4, all a game of patience for the Nation. They just held back and waited, even despite losing that opening pick. The Nation, they didn't play overly aggressive. They didn't try to compensate and go from a 4v5 to a 4v4. No, they held their ground and waited for that slow rotate around towards mid-side for Dark Ratio. Even if it at first didn't pay off. Recon bolt destroyed. Oh, lordy, so good. But even then, we talked about the Nation struggling for their defensive side. They've had a really hard time closing out multiple games in a round now today in Challengers. But now that they swap over to the attack, a team again where there hasn't been any public VODs so far of them on Ascent. This is going to be difficult for Dark Ratio. I would say the preferred side has been the attack for the Nation. And they're already up 4 rounds.
But not an impossible position for them to come back from naturally. But of course, this pistol is where we want to see it start, which Dark Ratio have been good about converting. They got in the first in this half. But the flash out from Drone as well, it was nice, looking to poppy peek off of it, but alongside Will can't do so, gets stopped with the molly. And now look to set up right outside of Tree as well, because something they know is already opposition there. And Dark Ratio should be aware of this, considering where they're at, right? They're gonna have to flash out themselves. With the double setup, they're just delaying them more and more here, Max.
They are. They're delaying quite a bit. They're doing for util dumps, looking for as much info, suppression as possible, and Trick is good for 1.
Oh, but that's one back as well. Leading towards a 4v3 right now for the Nation. The flash is nice, but off by hell. It's more than enough for the Nation to annihilate anything Dark Ratio could have possibly done.
And it's hard to extrapolate a lot of these rounds, right? Because a lot of it comes down to those full-on retakes or just full holds that both these teams love to employ. It's actually something we've been seeing a lot today, or all of Challengers, where Valorant has been turning into like these full group-wide fights, and I love to see it because all the tiny nuances of utility affects just about everybody in the server if they're all grouped up like that. But that was only a pistol round. We'll have to wait and see with the buy-up. This 3-2 split push is here.
Especially under the bonus. But Dark Ratio have been known to be pretty crafty on these saves. We've seen previously the Drone have managed to get 3 with the Classic. So that's about converting in, especially with the win rates they have. Second half is anticipated to be in Dark Ratio's favor, possibly if you look back on Haven. The jumps are heard, but Wardell shies away.
Yeah, Wardell going for those jumps. Maybe hoping for that flank to come out from Tree. That's why Tig is hiding behind the Radiant Knight box. And yet there was no bait. Dark Ratio are opting not to push up. They're playing as slow as possible. Info gain, the turret goes down. He's gonna leave Zextro on an island, but at least he can escape.
Sully's in 5v5, so not losing anybody early on is quite nice. Of course, for the side of Dark Ratio, right? They can attempt to put up more of an effort of trying to stop them, but not when Stewie is just
doing Stewie things.
Firing them on the side. Bulldogs galore, and it seems like this one is putting people down left and right.
Stewie's got the angle in case anyone rotates.
One enemy remaining.
Anticipates. Check from mid and a lead drone by spawn. Out flawless for the Nation.
Flawless round at that. Taking mid control, waiting to see if there would be a lurk or a flank to come by. Never did. But the Nation again, they've looked like a well-oiled machine. The chemistry off the charts. And this is a buy-up round from Dark Ratio now. This should be the bonus for the Nation, sure, but I mean again, the Odin coming out from Trick, that is an expensive weapon. It's only only about 1,000 credits short of the Operator. And even then, Dark Ratio, 6 rounds behind Rav, makes me nervous.
Revealing area.
I mean, we've seen it before, but not to where it gets tougher and tougher as you go along. As this is the second half. Sorry.
Look at this push out from Will.
He has one person behind him. Yeah, Dash was engaged, so he's fine there on that end and managed to garner a decent amount of info. You know, seeing that they're lucky set up by mid, and so they'll continue staying over by B. No one moving over just yet.
A lot of pressure on Zexro too. That alarm bot's gone. Now they assume there might be somebody inside of mid. But all the pressure from the nation's actually heading over towards split push towards A.
Oh, no shots!
Ordell?
Oh my god, he actually managed to dash and make it past him. Just jeeks him out as like it's a hockey game. Gonna leave Brax.
Down A.
He's about to get one of his own, but although trade was nice, but Brax somehow manages to get two. That was disgusting, man. Brax, that was phenomenal.
30 seconds left.
Leaving Will in front of the spike. But hey, he could do this. It's 1v3. He has control here. So this is entirely possible, but he has to clutch it. But I was gonna say, you know, unless Tig manages to catch the timing on him, goes behind him, and he does that. Man,
Will.
the party.
Will was found last alive, going 3-15 on Ascend. Again, for their Dark Ratio, a team that has had a lot of public competitive plays on Ascent. Even fairly recently, going flawless on this map. 4-11, 3-15. It's been not a great performance so far, but the nation, again, their attacking side has been all over the place, but in a good way. These individual plays, sure. Only 2 rounds away from securing victory, winning the series.
All you gotta do is take 2. But last time they had to do that, exactly this happened. Dark Ratio somehow decided, nah, we're not gonna lose anymore. Y'all gotta stop this. What's 3v4? The nation will come back from a lot worse. But it's harder to do when you manage to do all that. And you don't, look, to be the corner, should be 5-14 health. But staying alive, crucially. And Spike,
they've lost it.
Once again, not in their hands.
Completely lost Spike. Zaxxo picks up that Phantom. Pop shots going through from Brax just to maybe find some chip damage. On the other side of the world, though, what is Stewie doing? He's going to reorient himself. No, not even towards mid. He's going to go all the way around towards spawn. 45 seconds left. Call him Nelly Bly. He's going around the world in 80 days.
Bro, he's making the race.
I can't believe this.
I do not know if this is going to work. He has 3 seconds, so he can,
30 seconds.
no, ideally, just walk up slow. But they just have to make sure on the R side, well, on the nation side, that they keep the rest of Dark Ratio interested, right? Assumably they think they're still there, playing past the smoke. Brax has to stay alive, but that turret might actually end up doing him
14.
in. The Raider's right there. He goes all the way around 2 trees, complete loop. Now it's 9 seconds. He wanted to cover it, couldn't do it. The Odin spam is not gonna find nobody at all.
Oh,
I respect the attempt. I respect it.
I respect it too. Okay, hear me out. Do you think in a different reality that could have worked for Stewie had he gone heaven instead of tree?
I thought he was going heaven.
I thought
it
so
made the
too.
most sense.
I guess the pressure of the time may have gotten to them. I'm not sure. Maybe for like the double contact, grabbing the spike. There's a lot of what ifs. But that was a really ballsy maneuver. I enjoyed that a lot. But if we need to see more stuff like that, though. The nation, if they can keep going for wild plays like that, they could be guaranteed for that top 4.
It could be fun. A squad like this as well with, you know, phenomenal competitors from top tier teams managing to make it so far up to these qualifiers, it would be a sight to see. But as of right now, the only sights I'm trying to see is how far Tig moves up. Doesn't see anybody there, but the Stooge up in the corner, wins the first, doesn't find the second, the spray down from Trick, and there's the spray we were looking for.
The nation only have 2 left alive, separated out. Brax maybe trying to go for the same maneuver again, distracting everyone on B site. Maybe trying to promote
Player standing.
Rossi to go across the whole world, but it's not quite the case. Rossi's good for 1, the trade's there. A 1v3.
Rossi has been nasty before, so I won't count him on just yet. And crucially, the spike is in his hands. That's one thing that I've not been able to say about the nation the past 2 rounds, mind you. But currently, the door is closed, and so there's more than enough time. They get the plant down, 2 flashes, and now he's gonna plant right in front of stairs. So, flash reposition. Oh, but he gets tagged. Oh, him getting tagged is tragic.
Oh, had he just been able to survive for an extra second, he could have used no command, shut down any opportunity for utility, and take what's left of Dark Ratio in a 1v2. It's one of those multiverse, maybe what if somewhere in a different reality kind of plays. But we're seeing the same storyline again, Rav. 11 rounds for the nation, struggling to find match point, struggling to close out the game in the series. And Dark Ratio, sure, it's only 2 rounds, but it's the sapling, it's the seed, it's something that could grow great. But Dark
Ratio, the
Ratio
start of something new.
They can't squander it.
But hey Max, when the last time this happened, they got 7 rounds in a row. And now for the nation, if they lose this round, they have to save. And Will, oh, he almost did it. They anticipated him in the smoke. And now it's 4v5.
No presence at all inside of mid or even B. All of the nation stacked up outside A.
One suppressed.
Paranoia reigns through. Could have been a setup for something, but no. Drone and Ange opted not to go for the play. Playing it safe, making sure the nation can't go for 12. Meanwhile, the nation, they're just having a good time outside A main. Not a whole lot for them to really do in that position. They may be just cutting noise and waiting for that rotate back over to A. That might be what Wardell was waiting for. Hopping around a little bit, maybe trying to make sure that no one can fully rotate. And I know you liked this word before, Rav. But B site, despite there being a Killjoy's presence, having the null command in hand might be rather tantalizing the push.
Aha, tantalizing. That's a great word. But
30 seconds.
Oh,
this is interesting fake setup, right? It's not
yeah.
uncommon, but you've seen Brax do this previously, where he decides to just keep their attention there. But Dark Nation aren't falling for this. They've seen it before. Jackson allows them to walk in, should be able to get 1 because he swings back, and that's 3 from my man. That's the kind of deals we want to see on a wonderful day like this.
And all that's left is 1, it's Brax. You can shut down KJ's utility, but you can't shut down Zexro. A great round to win. And Brax just saving the rifle. 7 rounds now that Dark Ratio have won. 4 now away from potentially bringing this to an even game. And who knows? Possibly map 3 still on the table. But again, these ultimate plays, the spearheads being dulled down. It's back to A again for the nation. Slightly maybe different setup. We'll have to wait and see. But there's a 3 stack regardless for Dark Ratio. They see the Hunter's Fury. Luckily though, Dark Ratio has that lockdown on the other side of the map.
One suppressed.
Dive straight at A main. Both each getting 1 to 2 people on their sides. But this is big for Will. Oh no. Will needed to win that to stop them for anyone's place being taken. Although Dart is nice, but leads to a bit of trouble. Hunter's Fury used it.
Finds
to
info.
fall off. A nice pick.
That's so much info to be gained. Dark Ratio, they have a relative idea that the nation are in mid, but they don't know about A main just yet. The null command, the lockdown. Still good to shut down anything the nation can bring. Wardell with the Blade Storm in hand. On a solo journey. Actually, not so solo. Stewie's there to help out.
Yeah. So he's got his back. A walk in, high five. Let's go. See.
And they group up. I can only assume Tig is there to set up the paranoia towards lane to allow that entry onto a site. But they gotta watch out for that turret.
Even as he looks, as he was moving, check was spotted. Oh, and him not staying alive with that Odin just opens the sight for the rest of the nation completely. Although none of the other Omen used to let you touch them. We're not getting him is nice.
Still that lockdown from Dark Ratio.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
One more though. Stewie should be able to take it. Yeah. Pop into the smoke, and out they go. The nation finally a match point.
Match point.
It's always that 11th to 12th round that's been the difficult part for the nation. Unfortunately, though, when it comes to 12 to 13, it takes a lot less time, at least historically speaking. Will has the op. A final frontier to maybe bring themselves out of this hole of 5 rounds before potentially the lower bracket. This is gonna be so difficult. Stewie, Odin primed in hand, still waiting to play off of playing off of Brax's utility.
And they have ults in their hand. Pushing that lockdown. On DR side. Oh no, but Will from the shot is tough. And Wardell even gets him without his own op. Says, yo, who you trying to op, cuz? I own the academy. I know what you do. That's 2 for Big W. Sees 3. That's 4 against him. He's got 8 bullets though. He's got reload. He doesn't even need 7. That's it. That's 3 in front of him. And our drone repositioned to the other side. He's anticipating it. That's 4 for Big W. No ace to close it out. But a 2-0 will be given.
A shutdown, a shutdown, a shutdown over and over again. Dark Ratio, they had to climb the mountain both maps of the series, and unfortunately that third map will never be seen. If there's anything to take away from the 2 series that we casted today, Rav, is that fundamentals, and teamwork are the most important thing you can have to go higher and higher up in Challengers. It's all about the teamwork, the utility usage, the swings, the nitty-gritty, the things you unconsciously think about are the most important things in Challengers North America.
And sometimes you can just aim the people, assumably. Yeah, because we've seen it happen quite often. You know, we have talked about the mechanics of some of these players. We have said how gifted they are in being able to pew pew against one another, and this right here is a showcase of exactly that. Wardell didn't put on any fancy plays in that final 4K. It was simply him standing strong, transferring from 3, anticipating the person moving over towards the door side, and the 4 was taken handily. So that's right there is the impressiveness of what can be anticipated from the rest of these challengers, teams, and matches. But we reached the end of our day today, Max.
We've been saying so many different times. We've even been saying it since before Challengers begun, but this tournament is going to be one of the most cutthroat tournaments in North American VALORANT, probably history. It's a bit of a reset here. We're seeing all these different teams, everyone who's very capable of making it to the tippity top, but not everyone can make it. And that's what makes this so fascinating to watch. We get to see so much chemistry, the drama, the storylines, the shutdowns, and it only started, I guess yesterday, but it starts today. As we keep on going forwards, I don't know who's going to qualify for top 4, but luckily we have a few more days to find out.
Yes, sir, we do. We got the next 2 days, and we got LCQ next week as well. So y'all want to make sure to stay tuned to all this action and more. But with that being said, though, Max, that's pretty much been it. We appreciate, of course, everybody behind the scenes. Big shout out to Flippy, Catnator, Dazed, and Pressy for doing the things on production. Of course, all our TOs for the hard work. And of course, thank you, Max, for being by my side the entire day. We will, of course, be back tomorrow. But until then, I've been Ravish. So was Ravish on the internet. Have a good night. Peace.
To some, this is nothing more than cardboard and ink. But to those who know, these are precious metals. Rare gems, a full set it took 15 years to complete. Low pop rookies, hypnotizing hollows. One of only a handful in the universe, or an heirloom to look after for the next generation. No matter what you collect, raw or graded, to have and to hold, or to crush your opponents with, what matters is that it's real. Introducing eBay's Authenticity Guarantee for trading cards. Our third-party authenticators inspect every detail of your card and compare it to the listing to make sure it's the real deal or no deal, because we know just how much your collection means to you.